Because the man's hands were made of scissors, he couldn't eat food like other people. He finally managed to pick up a bean and bring it to his mouth to enjoy the taste of food. But the next second, the bean still fell to the ground, and he wasn't willing to give up. At this moment, kind-hearted Peg quickly handed Edward a piece of butter. Edward politely cut off a little bit and spread it on the bread. Finally, through his continuous attempts, he tasted real food for the first time. However, Edward knew he was a cold machine in human eyes, and since being created, he had lived alone in the dark castle. When Peg first saw Edward, she felt very sorry for him. Because he didn't have human palms, only cold, sharp scissors, and the scars on his face were all caused by accidentally injuring himself with his own scissors. So kind-hearted Peg carefully cleaned his wounds and decided to bring him back to live in her small town. When Edward rode in a car for the first time, he was as excited as a child. After inviting Edward into her home, Peg couldn't wait to introduce her family. When Edward saw Peg's beautiful daughter, his cold heart began to tremble for the first time. But when Edward looked at his appearance in the mirror, he knew he wasn't worthy of being loved in this lifetime. Soon, the neighbors learned that Peg had brought a strange person from the Black Castle, and they all wanted to come see this strange person. To make Edward appear more normal, Peg took out her expensive cosmetics, generously applying them all over Edward's face, hoping to temporarily cover the wounds on his face. But no matter how Peg tried to fix him up, she couldn't get the effect she wanted. At this time, outside the house, Peg's husband was trimming leaves, preparing to throw a party for the neighbors to introduce their new family member Edward. However, unexpectedly, Edward, copying the man's actions, actually started trimming in imitation of him. Then, under the gaze of two boys, a cute dinosaur appeared before everyone. The man was extremely happy when he saw it. Afterwards, Edward trimmed topiary figures of Peg's family, decorating the entire courtyard beautifully. At this moment, the little boy wanted to wash the dirt off Edward's scissors, but was immediately stopped by the man because water would make his scissors rust. So the man asked his son to go to the garage to get some lubricating oil to care for Edward. And it was at this moment that the man also accepted the new guest in his home.